Heritage units of Union Pacific. Many railroads use heritage units, also known as commemorative units. They act as a symbol of history for railroads that have joined into one. Union Pacific started their heritage unit program in 2005. This was started to pay homage to their predecessors that UP has merged with. Now let's get into the video. I will start off with UP in 1988, also known as the Katy. Katy, or K-A-T-Y, stands for the Missouri-Kansas-Texas Railroad. The railroad was created back in 1865. This personally is my favorite UP heritage unit because of the colors and the overall design. Here is a clip of this beautiful unit. Next up is UP 1995, which is painted to commemorate the Chicago and Northwestern Railroad. UP.com states that the Chicago and Northwestern was a railroad of contrast, serving Chicago commuters, Michigan iron mines, and Illinois coalfields. The railroad merged with Union Pacific in 1995, and on July 15, 2006, the commemorative unit was unveiled. Here is a clip of it in action. Now we will talk about UP 1982, painted to commemorate the Missouri Pacific Railroad, also known as the MOPAC. The MOPAC Railroad was created using three railroads: Kansas Pacific, Denver Pacific, and the Central Pacific. With MOPAC having so much volume in the rail industry, they merged with Union Pacific in 1982. Here is a clip of this beautiful unit. Next is UP 1989. This unit is painted in a Denver and Rio Grande Railway paint scheme. The Rio Grande Railway operated on narrow gauge track rather than standard, and by 1917 had over 6,000 miles of track. The Rio Grande eventually bought out the Southern Pacific Railroad in 1988 and went under the name Southern Pacific until they merged with Union Pacific in 1996. Here is a clip of the unit. Second to last is UP 1996. According to UP.com, UP 1996 incorporates Southern Pacific's historic colors and graphic elements to honor the men and women of the SP. UP.com is not wrong. This unit is probably the most vibrant colored unit the Union Pacific has. The Southern Pacific Railroad merged with Union Pacific on September 11, 1996. Here is a clip of the unit. And last but not least, UP 1949, painted for the Western Pacific Railroad. The Western Pacific operated 1,719 route miles in California, Nevada, and Utah. According to UP.com, the company struggled financially through most of its existence due to the competition from Southern Pacific and the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway. Western Pacific merged with Union Pacific on December 2, 1982. Here is a clip of this unit in action. Well, that's all folks. Thank you for tuning into this video. Also, thanks for more than 100 followers on my Instagram. link in the description. Also, these heritage units may turn into a series, so stay tuned. This has been Wavy the Rail Fanner. See y'all down the tracks.